Jon Jones is on the run, literally. Possibly in the middle of a hit-and-run case. He's a suspect. I want to give you quotes for context before we start discussing what we think may have happened and where UFC 187 is at stake, because it might not happen because of this incident that took place. So let's throw the quote graphic first to take a look. Witnesses said the driver who started the accident exited his vehicle, then went back to grab a large handful of cash. The man was described as African-American, wearing a white shirt with dark pants. He allegedly ran north from the accident scene and hopped a fence. Officers were unable to find him. This is all in context to Jones being a suspect. Next, inside the man's vehicle, a silver Buick SUV. Police found a marijuana pipe, oh no, with marijuana in it and paperwork belonging to a Jonathon Jones, which had MMA information on it from the state of Nevada. The report stated there was also enterprise rental car paperwork inside the vehicle. Several phone calls placed to Jones at the time were unsuccessful. An off-duty police officer identified the man fleeing the vehicle as Jones, the MMA fighter. According to the report, the off-duty officer also described the man as wearing his white shirt with dark pants. He saw him run up a dirt hill. Basically, it seems like Jonathon Jones, which is probably the most common name in America. Although with the MMA paperwork in the car, it seems like it's not just that he's a suspect, he may have actually done this. The woman that he hit, the car that he hit, was also a pregnant lady. That doesn't really help anything in this case. Yeah. So, Jon Jones has been the center of controversy now for the 2014-2015. Francis, we covered a lot of what happened when he was busted for the cocaine, the metabolite using that included cocaine in it. You know, back in 2012, he had some issues, and now this. What is Jon Jones doing?
So, I noticed you like kind of some people as well like were sniggering on it a little bit when it said marijuana, because that's like still, oh my god. But the issue is he put his fight at risk when taking cocaine. Before they still let him fight, no problem, because he's still the one of the golden boys of the MMA and the UFC. And now this as well. Even if you are not smoking marijuana and you let someone in your car, you can easily be pulled over, right? And it's still an offense, and he is still the UFC champion, so he's still putting himself in that situation where he could possibly have any report made on him, because as soon as your name as one of the most known fighters in UFC gets brought up in that situation, you're automatically in a negative light, which he doesn't need, because his fight supposedly is coming up when? The end of May?
May 23rd,
yes. Why even run that risk? And if this is an unfortunate accident where he ran a red light, hit someone, just stay. And it's not going to be any worse than running if it is him, but it seems like all the descriptions are placing me in a Cluedo game, and I'd be like, all right, Jon Jones in the car.
Once you flee that scene, obviously you just increased your chances of being in
a lot
more shit than you were. It screams you're guilty. But Joaquin, I wanted to have you jump in on this one too. Jon Jones is supposed to fight May 23rd, UFC 187, for his 9th title defense. Do you think this fight's going to happen now, even though we know that Albuquerque police, at MMA released their statement saying they need more information before they make a call?
I mean, I think the only way that it's going to be called off is if it turns into a big charges from the Albuquerque PD. If not, they're going to continue to have the fight. Money trumps everything. We've seen that. Talent and money trumps everything. And Jon Jones had that happen with his last fight. They still fought. We see we see stuff in the other fight in terms of the Pacquiao Mayweather. No one cares about the stuff outside the ring. The fight's going to happen no matter what. So unless there's something else brought to light or big charges, I think the fight's still going to go on. The big thing that I could think is the concern is that Jon Jones needed to focus on rebuilding his image after what happened with the cocaine thing. And the one thing he needed to do was to stay out of trouble, at least for the next fight. Go one cycle without it. And so, we have this thing where we believe it's him running from the scene, marijuana pipe in his possession.
It's just like people will still say that it's not a big deal, the fact that they smoke marijuana or whatever. Like, okay, you have a case, but while it still remains illegal in the numerous amount of states that it doesn't, and illegal in the sport, don't do it. Don't do it if you've just come under so much scrutiny for a cocaine charge. I'm not trying to be a party pooper here and be like, oh no, don't smoke weed if you don't. Well, just don't go out in the sport then. Like, come out of the sport if you're going to do it, or don't be putting yourself in that risk of that situation. If you're Jon Jones and you're hanging out with guys who maybe are smoking around, you just like, don't do that while in my car or where I'm here, I could get caught with it.
The issue with this specific case, or whatever it will become, is that he ran from, now it's a crime scene. Because when you have a hit and run, like, again, we talked about you have to rebuild your image and why people will not care as long as you keep it, to a standard level of gentlemanship, of classiness. Like, you don't need to be, getting busted for controversy after controversy. I mean, the guy's 21-1. He's trying to become, or you would think if his mind was focused on becoming, the greatest pound-for-pound MMA fighter of all time. But obviously, he can't keep himself together outside the ring. And like you, as you mentioned, Francis, before, like, yeah, I'm snickering at the idea of a marijuana pipe, mostly because, like, for some reason, when it comes up with marijuana pipe, this sounds funny. Sounds like such like an 1850s way to refer to it. But there's obviously a bigger case here. Now, Jon Jones is not a stranger to controversy. In 2012 and 2014, we know that he's been in the center of these problems and issues. We have a graphic I want to throw to. It's a quick little write-up that we have from 2012. Arrested in New York and charged with DWI. It resulted in like $1,000 of fines. This was years back, so then it seemed like he did all right for a few years. You know, it seemed like he was rebuilding his image, becoming, again, a great UFC fighter alongside it, and then he tests positive for cocaine, and now he's a suspect in a hit-and-run case. And even if it wasn't Jon Jones, although I find it very hard to believe with somebody with paperwork from the MMA, Jonathon Jones there, like a guy who fled the scene of the crime, it just seems like it was him, and I'm not trying to make that judgment. Obviously, there's more police work to be done. So is this the same Jon Jones who stuffed a bunch of cash in his pants and ran away from a crime scene? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.